So this is Milena, Milena,
Milena,
get that right?
yes.
Who has kindly volunteered and put herself forward perfectly to be our first interview on My Life's Toil. Yes, I know I did it with Russ, but that was more of an accident. This is something that we've been talking about doing for a little while now. So, Milena, thank you very much for coming on and welcome to the channel. And it's great to have you as part of the community anyway. Um, just really wanted to discuss your journey and maybe a little bit about you and where your journey has come from and where you are on that journey now. So, how are things going?
No, well, that's great. Thank you, Neil, for having me on your channel. I have really enjoyed seeing your story, seeing your progress, and let me also say how well you have done, Neil. And thank you for all the info that and the time that you had spent doing it. All these updates that you do every week. That obviously must take a massive time. And lots of effort. So, I'm part of the community. I just wanted to say thank you so much. And obviously, thank you for having me today. I
Welcome.
have really been looking forward to this interview for a long time. And just to tell you about myself, I'm just a woman in her 50s, just started my 50s last week or the week before my 50th. And
Well,
I
happy
embarked.
birthday for last week or the week before.
Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, I just started this journey with Mounjaro in March this year, and the reason for that is for the last 10 years I've been trying to lose weight, and I had not been able to. I had tried all kind of diets, you name it. As a lot of people perhaps here in this community, and I was getting frustrated. My weight just keep piling up, and I felt really down. And I just thought I need to do something. I cannot continue being like this. I just putting my health at risk, and I just don't want to continue being like this. I need to do something. Various occasions I went to the doctors, very little help. I have to say from the doctors, they measure you, they just tell you about the diet, all the things that you need to do. But the issue for me is here mentally. I know what I'm supposed to eat, I know what I'm supposed to do, but it's just sticking to it. Sticking to it and being able to make those choices that they are so hard as you get older as well. Um, and I had done a lot of research, like many of us, before we get into this. I didn't went with my eyes closed. I did a lot of research. And sometimes I was so close to order the medication, and I just decided to cancel it at the last minute because it's the fear as well, the unknown, and being a bit in your own as such. Because obviously, when you go into the doctors, they monitor you, do everything for you there. But when you are doing your journey alone, it's a lot that you're taking at your own risk. Anyway, cutting the story short, like I said, in March, I decided to start, but I was very scared of the side effects. So I made a decision, like I said, from a lot of research that I have done myself, in microdosing. So I started with 1.2, not that I recommended or advised it to anybody, but I did it for myself because I didn't want to feel unwell and having all those side effects that people talk about it. And I just feel that at the moment I'm in that stage in my life that I need to really watch out what I put in my body, and the fact that I'm premenopausal, so my hormones are up and down. So I just wanted to really be mindful about how I was going to approach this journey. So I decided to take 1.25 of the medication, which is obviously half of the starting dose, and gradually build it up. And obviously looking at my diet, and I'm glad I did because it did stop quite a lot of my appetite, and obviously I felt a bit nauseous and tired. That I think that if I had not gone through this approach, I think the side effects would be a lot more stronger than how I felt. So that has been my approach from day one. And it has worked. It has worked so far. Like I say, I'm not advisor. This is my own experience, my own intake, my own research. So I did 1.25 for nearly 7 weeks. And I got managed to lose half a stone with that. Obviously, watching my calories, watching what I was doing, what I was eating, but it helped me with that noise in my head that we all are aware of, that food noise, that noise that is all the time. Go and have a pack of crisps, go and have a pack of chocolate, go and have whatever, that. And it was just nice to quiet that voice in your head all the time, that bicker in your head all the time. And then obviously within 7 weeks, I decided to join the gym, and I decided to also join a community at the local leisure club that they are losing weight as well as part of the council, that they are offering like a 12 weeks where you can go and join a team. And I like that from the perspective that I felt that I need to show up every week. It was like kind of Weight Watchers and Slim and Well, but without the patronizing side of it, without having to stand there every week and show if you had lost weight or not. Everything, it was very confidential. You share your wins and stuff like that, and it made me feel a bit, for the first time, very responsible about what I was putting in my body as well. So that it helped me as well. And from there, I just been building up. Currently, I am in 3.75 mils, so I'm not even in 5. And I had managed to lose just under 2 stones. Yeah, it's taken me a long time. But at the moment, I'm not looking at as a race. I'm just looking at a journey that I want to get there. That is going to help me mentally, obviously, and looking after my health in general. Because, like I said, I'm not taking anything for my premenopausal symptoms. So at the moment, I'm only just using this medication to help me to manage some of those symptoms, because a lot of those symptoms are based on weight. Because you feel tired, you feel frustrated, you feel that you don't want to get out, you feel like it's really hard. How sometimes these physical symptoms that we experience through this phase in our life affect us. But what I have found is that it had helped me with the energy, with my mental attitude. It had helped me with the hot flushes as well, and really relooked at my health in general. So far, I have really enjoyed the journey. And yes, it will take me perhaps longer that anybody who used the normal doses and the normal journey. But to me, like I said, it's not a race. For me, it's listen to my body and be smart about how can I use this.
It's a sensible approach, Milena. Because one thing that I've always advocated on the channel is that if you can stay on a lower dose, and it's working for you, it minimizes any of the nasty risks that are there, doesn't it? So we know that some people have to go up the doses to see an effect or to see more positive effects, and some people have no problems with that. But then obviously we see on the channel all the time that some people do. But can I ask, what was it about Mounjaro that sort of attracted you? Why did you settle on Mounjaro to start with? Is there anything about that that you can discuss?
Yeah, sure. Well, before that, I tried one of the first, though, the first medication that they took into the system in 2022, Sacenta, I think it's called. And it's one of the first injections that they brought to the UK. And it didn't work for me that well. And then obviously, like I said, I kept doing my research, which these other injections that came into the market. And Mounjaro, based on all the research that I did and everything that I read about it, I liked the fact of the two things that I had, the one that's in your head and obviously the one in the pancreas. So that dual effect. So I think that sounds what I need, what my body will need to help me with this journey, and that was what it made me as a decision to go and try it, yeah, and stick to it.
Excellent. And you also mentioned that the sort of reception you got from your GP wasn't as you expected it to be. So,
Yes.
did you find that that was more um, the lack of knowledge, or was it just the fact that Mounjaro is relatively new? What were your thoughts around that at the time?
I think it were both. It's like almost as if they were not that interesting, because locally for me, yes, I do have a weight issue, but I don't have any of the other symptoms that people may have, you know. I don't have high blood pressure. I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm not, yes, my cholesterol it was a little bit high, but not high enough to cause concern. So I think because it was no any major flags apart from me being obese, to be fair. I hate that word, but unfortunately, it's what it is. That was the only thing that, as a profile, it was highlighted, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it had always been an issue in my way because I had never previously to get to my 40s. I had never struggled with my weight or very little, very little. And it's just, yeah, I just wanted to make something to improve my health and my future self. Obviously, I need to look after myself now more than ever. And that is the reason why. Yeah. And I think a lot of the doctors, like you have mentioned before, they don't know much about this. They are no, because as far as I know, they refer to a weight management company for them to take care of that. And I think it's a lot of that is knowledge, maybe
Yeah.
knowledge
I
issues.
totally agree, and I see that even now happening all the time because although the guidance sets certain targets, the GP surgeries and the primary care networks can actually set their own targets for patients as well. For example, NICE may say a BMI of 30 with comorbidities, whereas some GP surgeries are actually saying, well, we'll look at the comorbidities, but we want a BMI of 40 and above. So they are looking at the more extreme sort of side of people that are obese and more at risk. And I can understand that with funding and you know the upsurge in people wanting it. So
Yeah,
I do appreciate that. But you'd like to think that the actual guidance and knowledge would still be available for us, even if we do want to go down the private route. At the end of the day, our GPs or our physicians, you'd like to think that they can still offer that guidance to us. And I think working in that sort of environment, I think a lot of it is more down to knowledge, but some of it is down to a little bit of ignorance as well, unfortunately, because I suppose they are only humans. But I was going
yeah.
to say, and you was kind enough to offer the fact that you'd also struggled around perimenopause as well. Do you think that that's had a major factor in how things have gone for you then?
Definitely, definitely. Because like I said, I had never really struggled with my weight before. Yes, I had up and down, you know, but like fluctuated, losing 5, maybe gain 5 kilos, maybe losing 5 kilos, and thereabouts. I would never went over. And I think one of my triggers, it was just after having my child. I have my child when I in my late 30s. And I think looking back, I think I suffer with postnatal depression, looking back. And that was never really was addressed. And I think that from there is where I think my weight issues spiral out of control, because I didn't have the support at that time. And I had a very crying baby, which hardly slept. And it was very colicking. And for 2 years, me and my husband didn't have none sleep whatsoever. Mm. And you feel it. I mean, it's only so much that your body that you can last without no sleeping, without no resting properly. And yes, I did have support from my mother-in-law, but even so, it was tough. It was tough, and that is where I can now recognize that my bad eating habits developed, because I became dependent on sugar. And as we know, unfortunately, the world that we live in food that is very addictive, high in sugars, high in fat, high in additives that are really killing us as such, are really damaging our health, and to a certain extent manipulating our brains and our hormones and how we react to things. So obviously, it had taken me 10 years to recognize all of this, because when it's happening to you, you really don't realize, or maybe because of the tightness or I was in a survival mode for a long time, where I had a lot of sleep deprivation and I made bad choices, and I gained that weight very, very quickly. Within a space of 2 years, I gained a massive amount of weight. And then when things settle down, because my child started to sleep and things become easier, I had adopted all these bad habits, and I was heavy, and I just didn't find the time to exercise. And it was one of those kind of problems that you always put at the back, I know I need to address it, but I'm not ready yet. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to address it, like I said, with a lot of diets and misinformation, really, and bad guidance from all those clubs that you go, all those advice that they give us that we know now that is not the best advice for you when you are addressing an issue as weight. And I think one of the things that always people seem to overlooked is that it's also a mental problem.
Yeah.
I think it got a lot to do with hair.
Yeah.
And I think it's an issue that it doesn't get addressed properly. And until some of those issues don't get addressed in your own head, I think, we can try all these medications, but if the issues are not quite settled there, I think we will still struggle.
That's a really good and interesting point. And I'm glad you've made that point, really, because one of the things that we sort of say in the community, isn't it? It's a case of using these weight loss injections, and Mounjaro in particular, that most of us are on in this community, more as a tool and not completely reliant on the Mounjaro, and sort of trying to set and change our mindset, really, for when we may not be on Mounjaro any longer. So I think it is about trying to train our mind, and even sort of changing our personality around our attitude to foods in particular. Because what you were just saying rings so true with me. I mean, I got to my 50s, sort of most of my adulthood, my weight has sort of been up and down. And one of the things that sort of made me realize is when I had the blood test, my blood pressure was going up, it was creeping up, and then there was that realization: I'm sitting in front of some people that I'm trying to advise that having the same issues, even down to people are calling Mounjaro this miracle drug, which we got to try and avoid using that word, but
So
in
what
a
I'm,
way it is. But it's a tool for us to try and change our ways because I've been guilty of relying completely on Manjaro, because I know that when it wears off with me, I do struggle a little bit and I really have to use the willpower. So I think it's about trying to take that time to just think about the what I used to say the end game, which I used to get told off for saying end game all the time. But I think most of us need that plan, don't we?
yeah, definitely.
Um, can I ask, how do you feel about telling people that you're actually on weight loss injections and Manjaro? Are you happy to discuss it with people in your close family circle and friends, or do you only
Yes and
tell
no.
them if
Yes
they
and
tell you?
no. Yes and no. Because I think at the end of the day, this is my journey, this is my issue, this is my health. So obviously, my husband knows about it. But further than that, maybe one or two friends, and
Mhm.
that's it. Because I think it's nobody's business at the end of the day. Um, but there is such a judgmental in our society, you know. We get judged if we're fat, we get judged if we smoke, we get judged for everything. And it's bad if we do, bad if we don't. So yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of it because it's helping me. It's helping me massively. And I don't think that I had been able to lose the weight that I have so far. And I'm still learning. Every week I'm learning new things, you know, about this journey. Um, so yeah, even so I have not told many people because at the moment people are only just starting to know, oh, you look like you have lost a little bit of weight, you know. That kind of comments that you get, you know.
Yeah.
And if the conversation doesn't get any further, I think why should I be telling them what I'm doing, you know? So yeah, but if people come and ask me openly, obviously I won't deny it. I won't deny it.
Well, I mentioned on one of the videos I did the other week that I got to the stage where I'm almost a little bit, hesitant when people say, "Oh, you're looking really well. You've lost loads of weight." And somebody has said to me since, "Is that because of the route that you've gone down for for doing and achieving the weight loss?" And I've had a think about this, and there might be some truth to that because
Yeah.
people do say, "Oh, what have you done differently?" And I am very open. I'll say, "Well, I've actually been using weight loss injections as well as improving my lifestyle."
Mm.
And it sort of takes you down most of the time a bit of a rabbit warren of conversation that you don't always want to go down, or that you go down that often that it becomes a little bit tedious,
Yeah.
which is a bit hypocritical of me running this channel, I suppose. But
Mm.
but at the same time, I try and see it in another way now I'm aware of it, and sort of make people aware that this is, and it gives me that sort of pedestal to put myself on and say, look, there's a lot of people like me, and I'm trying to do good with it, and yeah, I'm happy to share that now, because especially with how big it's going, because there are millions and millions of people just in this
Mm.
country alone that really want to get on Manjaro, let alone the amount of people that are obese and need to lose weight. My approach initially, when I started documenting, was more about the male sort of attitude to health, because it took a long time, like we were talking about, for me to realise that the way I'm going will be I could have a problem, like high blood pressure, very high cholesterol, dangerously so, and the sort of realization, and I'm glad I've done it now. I've done really well. I've always, as I say, struggled with my weight, as I've documented for many years, been up and down. But when I got to the stage where it was actually really your health is at risk here,
Yeah.
and it sounded a little bit dramatic, whereas I used to say I was literally a heart attack waiting to happen. There's
Mm.
history in my family, my cholesterol and blood pressure, and being obesely overweight. was a massive issue. Putting in with that, talking to people at work and trying to advise them. I'm sitting across the desk at people, advising them about their health. You need to lose weight. They must look at me as if to say, really? So, but Manjaro was literally, and I did what you did. I researched as much as I could find, did all the reading. I was lucky I had access to, knew where to look really. And hopefully I haven't looked back, but I still fear what happens at the end, whether there will be a maintenance. Have you thought about sort of an end game for yourself as such and what your end plan would be, or is it
Yeah, I
something
mean,
that changes?
I'm still a long way. I think I need to still. I'm hoping to lose another 2 stones, if not 3 stone further, of the two that I have already lost. Um, but I'm hoping, like many of the other people, like how you say, that by then I had adopt good habits and I had learned really from all this journey. And like you said, try not to be so dependent on that. However, if if it comes to the case that I had become dependent on it and I can see that my weight start to increase again and see it all those patterns again, I'm quite happy just to come back to it and start it like how I did, microdose. Um, but like a lot of people said, second time round is not as effective when you finish your journey because there's a lot of things that I had heard and I had read that once you stop your journey and you back again, there is a lot of people who are experiencing that not quite the doses, the starting doses work, and they might have to go higher, because I guess your body might just recognize what it had before and not react as well second time round. I'm hoping that by then they had created this tablet because they keep talking about this tablet um, maintenance. So I really hope that there is a scope for that and that something like that is created. If after this journey we struggle, and the way I see it is like if you're happy to take antidepressants because you got depression, if you're happy to take, I don't know, tablets for asthma or whatever it is that your condition be, why should we raise our eyebrows to help us to keep healthy? Why should we be penalized for something that we're a struggle and that should be recognized really as a chronic illnesses? Because this is what it is really.
Yeah.
And it should be recognized and we should be helped and not be victimized for trying to help ourselves really. So no, I wouldn't have any issues in exploring uh, Mounjaro again if I can see that I'm struggling when I come to the end of my journey, and if my body needs it. It will be expensive. I don't know how I'm gonna afford it, but
I was going to bring that up actually with the current climate at the moment, with Eli Lilly raising the prices over here in the UK, and we've had it quite good really for us, haven't
we
we?
have
Although it's still quite an expense. Um, I mean, initially for me, I weighed up with what I wasn't eating and the takeouts and the junk food and the things like that and the snacking and my whole family. I've got two grown-up children at home. I've got my wife here as well. We've all tailored our lifestyles now pretty much around my eating plans because it's made me realize, that the amount that we spent on rubbish foods and I know that buying healthy foods isn't cheap,
no.
but I certainly feel that initially it certainly compensated for the initial outlay of Manjaro, but it's not quite going to be the same now, is it? How do you feel about the prices moving forward?
I mean, it's quite upsetting to be honest, because I feel that I'm not that far in my journey yet. I still a lot to go. And I feel even more for the people who are only just starting and then they had found eventually something that works and now this kick in the teeth kind of thing. It's expensive. What I got managed to do, like I said, because I'm macro dosing, I got managed to order myself another pen, and I had a pen in my fridge. So I'm just hoping that with these two pens, I can get to my other two weight loss, 2 stones weight loss that I need to be somewhere near my healthy weight. And then obviously once that stops, then see if I can afford anything else, either to move to Wegovy or explore something else, or maybe just come out cold turkey and hoping that
Mm,
with the habits and everything that I have learned along the way, I can continue the journey by myself. Yeah, I got managed to, was lucky enough to go manage to get hold of two big pens, 15 mils. The two pens that I got managed to get hold just before the increase. Um, and just hoping that with those two pens, if I continue macro dosing and being careful with my doses and my eating and my exercising, that I can get managed to achieve this weight with them. So
that's
yeah,
good.
that is the plan at the moment.
Sounds sensible. Sounds very sensible. Can I ask you? You mentioned that you did the you joined the gym and you had some help with getting that. What sort of things have you enjoyed doing, and do you enjoy it?
Yeah, so I go to aquarobics. I go once or twice a week, and I also start swimming. Swimming is really helping me. However, because I'm a premenopausal woman, I have found problems with my joints. I started it also with aerobics. You know, the 80s old-fashioned aerobics. I really enjoyed them. I had to stop that because of my joints. They give me quite really bad problems with my joints, and because I'm not taking HRT, um, I was really struggling, so I had to stop that for a while. And I'm just started now again swimming. Swimming, I'm aquarobics because obviously the water it helped me with my joints. Um, and obviously the weight loss is helping as well. The weight loss is helping. And like I said before, I feel more energized and more enthusiastic to go and show myself in public.
Oh,
Yeah, which is a
oh,
big struggle. It's a big struggle when you need to put a swimming costume and everybody's looking at you and you just feel conscious about yourself and it's hard. It really is hard. And I didn't, or I still don't want to go through the HRT because I'm scared of piling up in the weight even more. And I'm just hoping that by losing a bit of weight and clear my mind and help me with everything else, I can looking at HRT um, after this journey.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And as the journey goes along with the weight loss, do you find that it gets easier, going swimming, and are you starting to feel a little better about yourself, the
Definitely,
appearance side of things?
definitely,
And I
yes.
think that it's important that we do enjoy that side of it, isn't it? Because
We do.
at first, I used to say it wasn't about looking good, but when you do get that bit of feedback initially, it allows you to take a look at yourself a bit more, doesn't it? You're not
Yeah.
scared to look at yourself in the mirror anymore, are you? And that's
Yes,
great. So,
it is great. And like for women's, I mean, I don't know about yourself, Neil, but for women's, for me to go shopping, I used to love going shopping, and it's something that since I gained my weight, I hated it. I hated it because I cannot find anything that suits. everything feels tight, everything feels uncomfortable. I feel that they don't cater for women's of certain size really as well. Because I'm all, on top of that, being fat, I'm also short. So I'm in the petite section that they don't accommodate very well. So yeah, that meant a lot of mental struggle that way. And I always had considered myself someone really outgoing and very, I could talk to anybody. But my weight had restricted me to do a lot of things that I used to enjoy it, and a lot of things that brought me joy. It doesn't bring me joy in the same way, and I'm starting to rediscover again my old self.
Yeah.
The weight loss it had allowed me to rediscover a bit of the old Milena who used to enjoy it. Like I said, going shopping, look in the mirror, maybe, have the confidence to go in a swimming cozy to go and swim, pull my trainers and walk my dog. That's another thing that I enjoy it very much so. And I feel the energy to do so as well. Because it was just so easy just to stay there in the couch and not get out,
It's
And
easy to fall into that trap, isn't it? And
it
then
is,
especially like when we hit certain, and we use age as an excuse quite often, don't we? When we sort of, well, I'm at that age now, might as well just give up and just go with it. When actually, when you get good at,
young.
yeah, you get
We're
good
still young
achievement,
now.
it makes you realize actually there's life in this fairly young dog, really. I mean, we've got many people on the channel that are sort of 70s, I think even in their 80s, and I think we can just prove that you can feel good, you can look good, and you can go
Yeah,
out and do things. Now we appreciate, and I speak to a lot of people that aren't as mobile, they can't get up, but there's still things that you can appreciate and do and enjoy and feel
yeah.
better about yourself. So I think we're
No,
proving that, aren't we, as we go along.
definitely, definitely. And it's just bringing that joy and all those things that we kind of close our doors on it. We used to enjoy before. And it's purely because we become lazy, because our bodies become too heavy, because inflammation in our bodies and our brains, the food, the food really. I'm a massive believer that is, and what it makes me really angry is how the government don't do anything to protect us. They allow all these multinational companies, multi-international companies to modify the food and how they are doing it to make it so addictive and so bad for our health. Um,
I think
and I
that's
just,
a very, very good point because it's so easy. I mean, look, I think we touched upon this earlier, to go out and buy a healthy shop these days, it costs a lot more money than to go and buy absolute rubbish, doesn't it?
rubbish. Yeah.
It's so easy. And if you walk down every average high street in towns and cities these days, it's just fast food, fast food, fast food, rubbish. It's so available, and
So easy.
it's been allowed to happen.
Even just in your phone, even from your home, you can just order anything. It's just all
Yeah.
so easy available, that if something doesn't change, we are already anyway in an epidemic of obesity.
Yeah.
We are,
Yeah.
and I annoys me how the government and the to certain point the NHS don't recognize it and don't help people like you and myself and everybody else here in this community who are trying to do something for themselves, and there is just no help there available. There isn't. Either they could say at least, well, we don't give you the medication, but we will monitor, we will, help you along the way. But none of that happens.
No, I
We are
think
saving the
that's a
we're
valid point.
saving the NHS so much money by doing what we're doing.
Yeah. One thing that I did want to mention, do you still enjoy your diet, your food, or do you feel that it's difficult to stick to? Do you find it's, or does it change? How do you
It
find it?
changed. It changed according to how I'm feeling again. I'm having a good week. I am okay with my food and I enjoy it. And other times I'm thinking, oh my God, this is so boring. This is so boring. Um, and that is those days when I allow myself to have those treats and allow to have these naughty things
Hmm.
because I have not taken them out completely out my diet because sometimes I need them.
Yeah.
I need them. So no, I don't eat in I cannot, I'm not eat 100% clean. What I'm trying to do 75-30 or 70-30, sorry.
Hmm.
And
Maths isn't my big thing either. No, I
where
think
I
it's
try,
important to enjoy
yeah,
your food, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. So where I try, and it's that creation, isn't it? I don't know about you, Neil, and how is your things at your house, but it's having that flair, that creation in your dishes so that it doesn't become boring, the
Yeah.
healthy food that you're putting in front of you, that you are not getting bored of eating the same porridge every day, that you're not getting bored of eating your milkshakes, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and you become really, you have to become really creative in the kitchen. And like back again to have a look at basic ingredients, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
back to basics.
Yes.
Back to basics. I starting to even make my own cereal bars, making my own stuff, you know, because even like hummus, stuff like that, they are so easy to do, but it's time and it's creation, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Creativity and just reinventing things and keeping it interesting, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
And not being afraid to have the treat, like you say. I think that's really important because I think we could blinker ourselves, yeah, away from it. And I made that mistake earlier on in the journey, and it was people on the channel that were getting in touch with me and saying you need to have these treats because there was the time around Easter. I was relatively fresh into my particular journey on Mounjaro, and I had a terrible weekend because chocolate was always my downfall. But now I do have those. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But I do have those particular treats now, but it's measured, and I know, look, I you have to plan. I mean, which can be a bit of a pain sometimes, but I think it's sensible just to know that what the plan is. And I think the important thing is, and one of the things that I learned quite earlier on is that if you have a bad day, you start again. And I think you were touching on that.
allow it to happen. Allow it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and not being too sort of angry with yourself, really. I think that's a big point, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we went on holidays for 2 weeks in August. I didn't take my pen with me
Hmm.
because I thought I have to I have to be responsible that yes, I'm going to enjoy my holidays, but without being stupid. And I didn't take my pen. I was eating what I fancied it, what I wanted it, but within within limits. Saying, yeah, I have myself that treat. I will have that treat. I will
Yeah.
enjoy it, but I'm not going to go for a second portion of that or be stupid about it. And and I came back and I was a kilo lighter.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So I just thought that's brilliant. That's the first time in about 10, 12 years, like I've been telling you, that I had gone on holidays and I had not gained weight.
Wow.
And I ate what I wanted. I didn't restrict myself. I didn't felt that I restrict myself, but I felt that I was sensible about also my choices.
Yeah.
Yes, I could have a naughty stuff, but not everything on my plate it was naughty or unhealthy, really, you
Was
know?
that a little bit of a glimpse of what the end plan might be then? Just see how you
Yes.
feel off it.
How did I react without not being dependent on it? But I also realized that when it was coming to the second week, I was struggling a little bit more, but I didn't want to stupid either. So it was a really good taster of how I was going to react, because I didn't want it to, you hear of all these people that go on holidays and they stop it because they want to enjoy themselves and they want to eat whatever the food is available and stuff like that. But then I thought to myself, whatever you eat, however you behave in the next 2 weeks, it will have a consequences at the end as well. And that was always my mentality, Yes, you are on holidays, you're allowed to enjoy yourself, but be sensible about it.
And then you got back on plan and you
Yeah, I
continued as
mean,
you were.
it's not clean. It's not clean by
Yeah.
no means, because obviously when you're on holidays, you have a little bit more treats, and I'm still having some of those treats. So like we back about 2 weeks ago, and I had just maintained. I have not lost that, just maintain it. So I know where I need to address my issues at the minute.
Hmm.
Um, but I know they will come now that we go into a routine again, back home, back to work, back kids go back to school, walking my dog and back to the gym again. So I'm sure I will see that reflection again in the scales. But like you say, it's not all about the scales. It's like today I tried new clothes as well, and it felt so good. Felt so good because it was pants and blouses that I had not been able to fit in a long time, and they are fitting, and
Brilliant. It's a great
it's great.
feeling. It's a great feeling, isn't it?
It
Well, I think you're
is.
doing, Milena, I think you're doing absolutely brilliant. Is there anything
Yeah.
else you'd like to add to the people in the community to help? Is there anything that we've missed that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I mean, for people who are maybe still, in the between the two minds, what to do, maybe scared of the side effects or anything like that, is just try it, try it. If you are scared of the side effects, read about it. Maybe if it help you to microdose, look into it as well if you can. It's not advisable for anybody, but if it help you and it help you to manage the side effects that you don't want, you know, something to explore, not to be afraid about. And to say that, this is a journey for the long, it's not a race, We're here just to learn about the whole journey. And to me, going through the doses, how I'm approaching it, I think to me is helping me in building up that journey into a better and healthier me.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Milena, thank you ever so much for being the first person on our interviews here. It has been absolutely brilliant to speak to you today. I've really enjoyed doing this.
I
Um,
love that, Neil. Thank you.
oh, no, thank you, because I'm sure this will help so many people moving forward. And
I really hope so.
please, we must keep in touch to see how it's going because
Definitely.
it's inspirational. You're doing it. You're saying only 2 stone, but 2 stone is if you was to put that in a bag and try and carry that round for a day, you'd feel it.
I know
I
you.
think you'd probably need at least 2 bags anyway, wouldn't you? So it's good going.
Yeah, thank you so much. And well done, you, Neil. You're doing fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's everyone out there that's been helping me as well do this, and that's why we keep it going because we're helping each other, aren't we?
Definitely, definitely. Could
Well,
not agree more.
keep in touch, Milena, and we'll
Well,
update how you're getting on as well.
definitely,
And
definitely.
hopefully we'll speak in the future to see how things are going.
Brilliant. Take care, Neil.
You take care too, Milena. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye now. Bye bye.